All right, Shalom. First off, I want to start up with saying all praises, honor, and glory is due unto Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Kakadash. That's all praises to who the world calls God, whose true name in the Hebrew is Yahweh, by Hashem meaning in the name of Yahushai being the name of the only begotten Son. Also want to say double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and mercy to the hopeful elect, preaching his word in truth and sincerity. On the brother Tazabah in the Great Millstone, Arizona camp, Lord will, with another video to edify. And I wanted to touch on help. Over here in our camp in Arizona, I'm one of those brothers that pretty big on the herbs, love going into medicals type shit. And brothers have conveyed to me that I got the spirit of healing, and they consult me on certain things. So I wanted to make a video as far as what I'm doing with right now. And this is weight shit, right? Over the years being in the truth, that stress hit, chilled out and relaxed. When I came in the truth, I was fit as hell. Now years later in the truth, I I blew the fuck up. So I'm trying to get control of that again, and it's working out pretty damn good. So I wanted to go over a few things that brothers can do that's in the same situation, and this is the fastest way to do it, right? So I'll give you a little example. So there's three forms of fat, right? There's three forms of body fat. One is extremely dangerous. It's called visceral fat, right? Mark that as V, right? This is the back of the person, and this is the front. Visceral fat would be like this type of body type, where you have a lot of fat on the organs, right? You have people with a body type like this, and you have that belly that looks like somebody's pregnant. And then you have people with superficial fat, where all they really have is that tummy at the bottom, right? So you got visceral, you got a pregnancy gut, and then you have superficial fat. This visceral fat is the worst to have. It spells out a lot of health problems, right? This is the fat where the fat is on the organs. It takes extremely long time to lose, and especially if you're trying to go at the route the way everybody does it, just by simply eating smaller meals more frequently, you're just gonna blow up. Because what happens is your insulin, which is the most important part about losing weight, insulin spikes up, but your body doesn't produce. When you eat sugars, your insulin spikes up, but your body doesn't produce enough insulin to get rid of that excess sugar, so it ends up storing it as fat. And any heavy brother in the truth, you got this issue, right? Where your body stores a lot of it as fat. And it's really because insulin sensitivity, because you've eaten too many things, have too many sugars, and your body has lost the ability to fully get rid of those sugars because you're not producing enough insulin. The only way to balance this out is through fasting, right? This one, if you got this beer belly gut where it looks like you're damn near pregnant, that is it's a liver issue. And once you get to this stage, what happens is you store liquid on the front end of your stomach. So instead of your liver going into the bile and all that, you're storing bile outside the stomach, and it's making your stomach swell like that. Once you get there, it's pretty fucked up. Is damn near nothing you can really do. And then you got superficial fat. This can be simply done by exercise and counting your macros. But brothers with this problem, the visceral fat, I'm a brother that's dealt with that. I'm shedding this shit pretty quick. Last week I lost 20 pounds. This week about 3. But I started throwing some workouts in there and everything. And really all it is fasting. The best way to knock down insulin is fasting. After 12 hours, your body basically starts going into a ketosis state where it burns its own fat reserves. So the goal is, brother, start out, if you're not used to fasting, and sisters out there, if you're not used to fasting, work on getting a 12-hour, at least a 14-hour fast. And that 14-hour fast, 10 hours eating. And your goal is to get to 18 hours fasting and 6 hours eating. Basically what this does, it pushes your body into that burning fat rate. It doesn't make you lose muscle. You're already overweight. It's just going to use your excess fat to store it. The best thing to do, and this is what I've been using, just to drop this shit. And my demon, she looking at me because she sees I'm dropping it quick. I've been using this app, and I'll put the link in the description when I do the video. And it just helps me to track my fasting now. The cool thing about this app is you go on here and it tells you what phase within which hour you're burning fat, right? So it goes blood sugar rise. That's when you eat. Within 2 hours, through 2 to 5 hours, blood sugar starts to drop. 5 to 8 hours, blood sugar returns to normal. All right, so this is what happens every time you eat. The blood sugar rises. It takes 5 hours for the blood sugar to drop back down and 5 to 8 hours for it to get back to normal. So imagine if you already if you have bad insulin resistance and you're not producing enough insulin to chauffeur off those carbs and that sugar, it starts to store it as fat. So if you eat multiple times a day and never having more than a 3-4 hour break, you're always storing. You never really get a chance to get rid of it, right? So 8 to 10 hours, your body switches into fasting mode. Then you go into glycogen left, the little glycogen left. Then you go into ketosis at 12 hours, right? To 18 hours. You go into 18 to 24 hours. Now you're burning fat, and it's cool because it goes even further now. I had to, do the 18-hour fast for about a week straight, and then I went into a 3-day fast. I went in a 3.5-day fast, and I felt amazing afterwards. It was the best I felt in a minute, and I've been trying to incorporate at least a 36-hour fast every single time I eat. So I'll eat today. I won't eat again until tomorrow night, right? But you don't have to do the 3 days fast. If you want to do 18 hours, that's cool. 24 hours, you get into autophagy stage, where it basically means your body's self-devouring, meaning it's breaking down all those old cells, all that old cells that weren't able to be fully repaired. It breaks those down into its parts and it builds it back up better, right? But this is the goal of it. This is how you lose weight. And the last thing I use is a BMR calculator. When you look this up, BMR basically is basic metabolic rate. It's the rate at which, if you were just laying in bed not doing absolutely anything all day, how many calories you would lose, how many calories you would need to basically fuel all functioning organs, right? So this is very good to go into. All you do is you put your age, you put your height, You put your weight, and it'll give you the calories you would need if you were simply lying in bed all day. And right here on the right hand, it tells you at what activity level, how many calories you need at each activity level if you're being active. So your goal is to stay under either the BMR, if you're not going to sit here and actually exercise. Your goal is to either stay at or under the BMR, right? If you just want to, go throughout your day, work, not doing any exercise, you're going to want to stick at this BMR rate, because if you're going to work, then you're pushing yourself into the exercise 1 to 3 times a week, and then you're already at a calorie deficit, right? If you have a sedentary job where you just sit at home or sit on the desk, now you keep it here, you're already at a 500 calorie deficit, which is what you need to actually lose weight. So these are 2 things that you can do to do that. You know what's too much. You know what's too much eating. After fasting like this all the time, your stomach shrinks. I can't eat nearly as much as I used to. Can't eat nowhere near as much as I used to. And this is the plan now. I bring this out because brothers is going through health issues and shit, and I'm no stranger to it. But this is what I use to try to drop down. Now the scriptures tell you in Sirach 30:25, a cheerful and good heart will have care of his meats and diet, right? And really, this is true, man. You got to have care for your meats and diet. You can't overindulge. You can't sit here and just gorge and think you're going to be good, because it's going to start affecting you in the truth. And that was my shit. I was like, man, it's too damn hard to stay awake to study. Always fucking tired. So I got my demon on this shit too, and she's starting to drop weight. This is Sirach 37 and 30. It says, for excess of meats, I'll start 29. It says, be not insatiable in any dainty thing, nor too greedy upon meats, nor for excessive meats bringeth sickness and surfeiting, right? Overeating, overindulging will turn into cholera, will turn into sickness, right? By surfeiting have many perished, but he that take heed prolongeth his life. So you got to take heed to how you eat. Your diet, how much you eat. Really, we're not really supposed to eat as often as we do in this place. Don't snack. There's no need for snacking, right? If you already know that you're only going to be able to eat in a 6-hour window, right? And you're going to have to fast for 18 hours plus, and that's the goal. You're going to want to fill yourself with things that actually fill you up. I'm eating a shit ton of salads. I'm doing I'm doing kale smoothies with pineapple, right? Because it's good for digestion. It might be high in sugar, right? But it's a dietary fiber sugar, so it's good, right? And then I go work out, and brothers, if I've been able to work out with a few brothers. Brothers know me. I get in that bitch, I start throwing shit around, and it's good to be like this, man. It's good to get out there. It's good to work out, like the brothers in LA say, man. I've heard them say it on the video. Pray, fast, and work out. Pray, fast, and work out, and it's a good routine, man. It's a good routine. But this is what I use. I encourage brothers to look this up. I'll put the link in the description for the app. I'm gonna get this last one. This is Sirach 31 and 21. I'll start at 20. It says, sound sleep cometh of moderate eating. He riseth early, and his wits are with him. And that's helped extremely since I've been doing this, because I'm not eating near the time where I go to sleep, man. I'll eat in the early afternoon, stop before 3 o'clock, and then just fast out, and that way majority of the fast is done while you're sleeping. Great way to do it. Right, you can set it up to where you stop eating at 5 o'clock, and then majority of the fast is while you're sleeping. It just takes a little discipline. I had to pray to the Lord for a little discipline on this, and hey, the water Yabashim Shai helping me out with it. It says he riseth early, and his wits are with him, but with it says, but the pain of watching and choler and pangs of the belly are with unsatiable man. Right? And this is what happens when you overindulge. You start getting the sickness, right? The pains in your stomach, going into that bile issue that I talked about with that second body type, right? And that choler kicks in, right? That first body, the visceral fat, man, that's where you start building up that diabetes and shit. So you got to get a hold on that, man. Verse 21, it says, and if thou hast been forced to eat, arise, go forth, vomit, and thou shalt have rest. You're not supposed to eat till you fucking bloated, right? You just eat till you have enough. So, just a quick lesson, man. Lord will is edifying brothers that's having issues with that. Great way to do this, man. It's a pretty good app. I think it's like $20 for an entire year. Otherwise, you get the free one, and you just only get to pick out of two different plans. It's a 16-8 fast, 16 hours fast, 8 hour eat, or 18-6. Right, but great way to fast. Good to get into. I highly recommend brothers try it out that are having issues with this. It's a cool little app. Gives you a whole plan. Let you see how well you've done your longest fast. See, that's when I did the 3.5 days right here, from the 19th to the 21st. I did a 40-hour fast, or from the 12th to the 16th. I did a 3.5 day fast, so there was 87 hours, and then did a 40-hour fast yesterday. So something to look into, man. This is good. It's really good. It really helps a lot. But brothers got any questions, man, just put it in the comment board, Lord will. There's also herbs you can take. There's one called Caralluma fimbrota. Let me pull that up. All right, Caralluma fimbrota. This is a herb that actually helps suppress appetite. Works pretty well. The ancient warriors used to use this shit to go days without eating while they're hunting, and it actually stops the production of it stops the production of fat molecules forming together. So it's actually pretty good to use while you're fasting if you're having a hard time getting it started. But this is good, something good to look at, and Lord willing, this is edifying. I'm gonna say call halal, Yahweh Shemi Shai by Shalom.